Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim. It is November 27th. So I'm filming today to show you a blanket that I just finished. So I'm trying to remember back the last time I actually made a blanket, and I'm thinking it was at least my early 20s when I first started. I don't make fancy blankets. None as nice as ones that I've seen. Like, if you go on my Precious Yarnery's channel, she has been making the most beautiful blankets, but I only know the good old-fashioned granny square blanket. I have not expanded my knowledge towards blankets. I admire all the blankets that people make on their channels, and one of these days I will go outside the box and make something other than a granny square blanket. But I think the reason why I went for a granny square blanket this time was because I made it for my father-in-law. It is black and yellow. I think I didn't watch my past video. I think I did show you a little bit of it. It's my father-in-law really likes football, and his favorite team is the Steelers, and everything he paints in his garage, like his birdhouses and stuff to decorate his backyard, is all black and yellow. So I made a black and yellow plain granny square blanket because it's for a guy, and he is very, like, he's a hunter. He's very plain is, for him, it's perfect. So I'm just gonna turn you for a minute and see if I can show it to you. Okay, move my chair back. Okay. So this is gonna be a like a chair blanket. It's not for their bed. Okay. So you can kind of see. Oh, tripped on the dog bed. So yeah, you can see it's a cute little. Now, I can't remember if you're supposed to run these in the washer or the dryer after you make it to make it a little less hard. How do you explain it? So I ran it with no heat on fluff in the dryer with 2 bounce sheets. So it definitely smells very fresh. So that's my father-in-law's Christmas present. Which took me, I think it took me like just over a month actually to make, because I could only work on it after work and when I was laying in bed, because I don't take my amigurumis to bed with me anymore. So when I work on my amigurumis here at my desk, I finish up here and then I take the blanket to my bed and work on it there. And the hardest part about working on blankets is when you have pets and you're laying in bed with the blanket on you and you're trying to rotate and your pet comes and lays on it. So that was fun. Ralph took my chair. Come on, honey bunny. Here in my chair. That's my yarn stash for now. That's how I have to store it. One of these days, if I ever get my own yarn room, they will be in those square cubby units that everybody has, and they'll be all organized and pretty looking. But for now, all my yarn has to be in these bins. That's some of my yarn stash, because there's an abundance of yarn here on my desk. All the little balls are in like drawers with wheels. So there's a cat behind me, so I only have half a chair. Oh, are you gonna move? Okay, he's not gonna move. So I think the last time I showed you guys some finished projects that I was working on was the candy corn, some Halloween stuff. So I'm going to, sorry, I think there's a loud truck going by outside. So I'm going to show you the Christmas stuff. Do you see that? Excuse me. Excuse me. Ralph? Okay, well, he's gone now. Kittens. He's 6 months now, actually, because the last time I showed you guys him, he was fairly small, but now he's almost just as big as my 14-year-old cat. My 14-year-old cat, when I took her to the vet a few months ago, they had her at 10 pounds, and Ralph, I just went up the stairs, Ralph's 9 pounds, so he's probably 10 now, but yeah, can you believe that a 6-month-old cat's 10 pounds and my 14-year-old cat is 10 pounds? But the vet did say old age, you know, their weight is usually down a bit, which is normal as long as it doesn't go really low. So, sorry, I got distracted. Pets. Okay, so we're gonna go, projects. So, sorry, I love my pets. They're my children, because I don't have children, so I talk about my pets because they're like my children, because obviously they're animals. But we all treat them like they're our kids. So, okay, so I made this for my nephew for his birthday. He's 2 years old today. Both of them, they're twins. And one nephew, he's very cuddly. And I made this one for him. Sorry, wait, there's a little, probably Ralph's hair on it. I made him a little Ralph. It's not exactly like Ralph, but it's one of those, what was that? It's one of those loveys that everybody's making. So I found a cat version. I gave him a white foot and a white tip on his tail. I didn't want to do too much white because it's for a 2-year-old and I know he's gonna snuggle it. So white and children, you know. So I gave him a little bit of white. I wanted him to resemble my cat Ralph, because when the kids come over, they chase him around the house and just think he's hilarious. So I made this little, and I had to tie this was hard, actually. Tying their legs in knots were actually kind of hard because I had to get it wrapped around enough to be able to stuff it through, and I don't know. He probably would have been fine without the knots, but I did the knots because that was the pattern. I found the pattern on Etsy. If I don't say the names of the people who make the pattern, it's a lot of people made them, and a lot of my patterns either come from Pinterest or Etsy, so you can find a lot of these guys on Etsy and Pinterest. So this is the cat lovey. The pattern for this cat's actually in gray, but I just converted it to black. Then it looks like Ralph. Add that to Harry's blanket. Okay. So we all know this guy. Sorry, there's price tags on because my craft show is actually coming up on Thursday. Yeah, the craft show at my work's actually coming up in like 2 days, so this is a lot of inventory for the show. So this guy, everybody knows who this is. I like warm hugs. So I have him. So if you do find this pattern, nothing wrong with the pattern per se. It's just, I think that if you're a beginner and you make him, just note that the pattern for the nose is not there. It'll tell you to start in a magic ring of 4, and then it'll tell you to decrease or increase. and just let you go from there. So basically it just says magic ring of 4 and then increase decrease as you want. So there is no exact pattern for this nose. So just know that if you do make him, you have to have an idea of how to make a carrot nose shape, because there were no instructions for his nose. But it actually was pretty easy. If you know like your basic increase, decrease, single crochet patterns. So there's Olaf. Going in with the lovies, I also have, I'm hiding the tags because I don't want to share the prices of what I'm selling these for at the show, because I don't like price shaming. So I'm just gonna hold on to the tag. But I made this chicken. He's got a tail. This chicken's from Etsy. The pattern for this chicken, he is white and his feathers are red, green and white feathers or something like that. So if you look for this chicken pattern on Etsy, he'll be white with colored feathers. But I just did him in a different color. So I made 2 of those. I don't think I showed this one in my other video, but here he is again. I also made Nemo. I might have showed him in my other video, but that's okay. He's cute. You can see him again. I don't like editing and rewatching myself on video, so I actually don't rewatch a lot of my past videos, because I don't know, it's just weird seeing myself on camera, and then I'm gonna pick out all the things I like and don't like about certain things. So there's Nemo. This guy's my favorite. There's Rudolph. This pattern might be on Amigurumi. Is it called Amigurumi Today? This one might be on, no, maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember now. I have patterns somewhere. But there's him, his little tail. Amigurumi, I think it's called Amigurumi Today. And I was trying to find my phone, but my phone is right there. Amigurumi Today is, I believe, another place to get patterns. Yes, Amigurumi Today. You can find lots of patterns in this one. Some are free, some you have to pay for, but you can find really cute patterns in Amigurumi Today also. Because I'm pretty sure I've had a few patterns out of there too. The next pattern I want to show you is this gingerbread man. If I didn't show him already, or maybe I did, here he is again. If you know the book, that 1 hour book, where is it? Oh, I got it right here. I got it here. No, I don't. That's not the 1 hour book. There's a book where you can make things within an hour, and this is a gingerbread man pattern out of it. But the pattern for this gingerbread man is actually smaller. But I made him in the blanket yarn, and then I added the buttons. So the pattern was, yeah, in that 1 hour book, and there's some fluffies everywhere. The patterns from that 1 hour book, where you can make things within an hour or less, and I added those. So there's the gingerbread man, and it's actually, I'm trying to think, it's actually a no-sew pattern, because you make the arms first, then you do the leg, stop, and then you do the other leg, continue around, and then you sew these in, and then you go up and then you make the head. So you really don't sew anything. I just sewed on these to make it extra. You can't not add the gumdrop buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons. So, and I made them purple because of obviously that specific character. That's why I made them purple. So there's that. Another thing I want to show you. Okay, so next month, the local wildlife center. So remember back at the Canadian Thanksgiving weekend that we had, which was in October, because Canadians have ours a month earlier. So when we had our Canadian Thanksgiving, on the weekend there was the fair at our in our local town, and I ended up making some stuff for the fair. Well, those bird nests that I made, I ended up making more. So I have 3 here. So I ended up making more because they are coming to my work with some of their birds to do like a little demonstration, like a show and tell kind of thing to the residents, because I work in a retirement home. So they have hired them to come in and do like a bird show demonstration thing. And because they are coming to my work, I came up with an idea to see if any of the residents want to get involved, because at my work the residents have a what's it called? They have a knitting group, and I told the recreational manager to let the knitting group know that, hey, they are looking for nests, for knitted or crocheted bird nests. And because they're going to be coming, what day did she say? 7th. December 7th, they're coming in. I think that's Friday. And I actually booked that day off, so I won't be there for it. But if I make a bunch, she's going to, if I bring them in on, I booked off, no, maybe it's a Thursday. I booked off Thursday, Friday. So I have to give them to her Wednesday, because I'll be working that day. But anyways, so she's going to give them to them when they come. So I've made this one. I hope to make some more. Oh, and this one, it's like a mossy one. I'm trying to go with the nature vibe. So I don't know if I want to make any more in the same colors or just keep going with different colors. I'm going to try and make as many as I can. But I'm making Christmas presents right now, so I'm very swamped, and it's overwhelming, but it's fun. I can make this in an hour, and I've timed it in a way that made me remember, because I joined a new group. So at my local library, there is a Stitch and Chat, and I've heard about it before, but it was always on days when I had to work. And one of my coworkers, she's a receptionist at the front desk, and we were chatting one weekend, and she said, hey, the library has the Stitch and Chat, you should go sometime. And I thought, oh yeah, actually I've heard of that. When is it? She said, oh well, it's Tuesday on, what was it? What's today? November 21st from 2 to 3. And I thought, okay. So I had that Tuesday off, and so I ended up going. I was the youngest one there. That is fine. I kind of had a feeling. I had a feeling either I was going to be the only one that would show up, because I've never been to a group social gathering where we're all crocheting and knitting. You know, I'm always just sitting at home in my little corner of the basement, on my own. So I was nervous. I didn't know. Yeah, I actually never sit in libraries. I don't know why. In high school, I always sat in our library in the school, but I've never actually gone and sat longer than an hour in an actual library. So that was fun. So yeah, so I got there, and including myself, there was 7 of us. And I didn't know what project to bring. I didn't want to bring amigurumi because I would have had to remember the stuffing and any eyes, and I just didn't want anything that was complicated. So I ended up working on, I made this one first, and that took me the whole hour that I was there. But I started 3 rows on this one when we ended up packing up and leaving. So there was one lady, I'm pretty sure it was one of the librarians that was hosting it. She just started crocheting a month ago, so she was kind of watching how I was doing it and said, "Oh, do you mind if I watch and see how you do it?" And I thought, okay. And at the end, when I tied everything off, she says, "Oh darn, I missed how you tied it off. I would have loved to see how you had done that." So yeah, so there's all these projects that are done. I have to go get it. I don't have it beside me. I made something else. Okay, so I originally made this for my mother-in-law because I had made my father-in-law the blanket, and I thought I should make my mother-in-law something. I don't have time to make 2 blankets, so what can I make my mother-in-law? So based off this pattern that I found online, but kind of converted it because the pattern I found was actually too small. So I just converted the increasing so it was wider. So based off this pattern, I thought, why don't I make a basket? I looked online for basket patterns, and don't get me wrong, there were good ones, but I thought, if I can make this, I can make a basket. I don't need to rely on a pattern all the time, and normally I always rely on a pattern. If somebody asks me to make something, I'm like, if there's a pattern, I'll skim it over and see if it's something that doesn't look too difficult, and sure. So I'm slowly, very slowly trying to see if I can do it on my own. So I do find a lot of YouTubers that make things on a fly without any pattern, and they just make it up. Like, I find that very inspiring. There's 2 channels. I might say it wrong. The Skein Spider, she makes these Frankenstein amigurumis. I think they call them Franks. If you know the channel, you know what I'm talking about. But they make all these random pieces, put it together, and then they have this like made up creature. It's like, I find that so inspiring, and I would love to do that one day, but for now I just rely on patterns because I don't want to say I don't have the brain capacity, but like, I just don't have the time to sit and think that much about coming up with something when I can just cheat and use a pattern and it's already there. Because there's so many wonderful patterns out there that if I can just find the pattern, I'd rather just do it that way. But hopefully one of these days I can make something up. But for now, I just find a pattern. Except for this thing that I made. So this originally was, I'm getting off topic. This originally was for my mother-in-law. But my sister, she wanted to do an advent calendar with me. And if you saw my last few videos, where the one video where I made I'm working on the miniature craft room with all my like little miniatures and stuff, if you've seen that video, my sister's very into that. She's more into that, like I'm more into crocheting, but I trickle into the miniatures like she kind of trickles into crocheting a little bit. So anyways, I made a basket for my mother-in-law, but my sister wanted to do an advent calendar. So when I made all of these individual advent calendar baggies, wrapped all these individual 25 items and put them in these bags, my mom said, why don't you put them in the basket that you made your mother-in-law? And I thought, well, if I do that, then I have to make another basket for my mother-in-law. So this is my sister's basket. So it's got, I don't know, I think the handles maybe should have been wider, but so what I did differently though, because with the bird nest, you just go around, when you're done increasing, then you just do single crochet round and round, and then it goes up the sides, right? Well, this one, you go, you start with your magic ring and you increase to however long you want to increase to make the bottom very wide. So I ended up doing the back loop because I wanted more of a curve, because this is kind of maybe too round. So I did the back loop and made it arch. Like, yeah, you know what I mean. This one's too round. So I did the back loop and made it up more. So this is my sister's new basket. So I didn't number these, but basically she'll go to her new basket and pull out randomly whatever she wants to open. She's made me one, so when we do our trade, I'll see what she's come up with. But anyway, so this is her new basket, and now I have to make another basket. And actually, now that I think of it, I have to make 2 baskets because my family, when you get older and the presents start being bought for all the little kids, times are tough and everything's expensive, and it's not about presents, obviously. We do give out money through Christmas and stuff like that, but I find it's easier to just kind of buy a couple things for the kids, and then as far as the adults, we put all of our names in the hat and we do Secret Santa. So my Secret Santa that I drew out of the cup was my mom. And my mom and I, a few weeks ago, were talking about how she said she wanted a basket too. And I said, sure, no problem, add it to my list. She even picked out her colors. She wants red and brown. So yeah. So anyway, so when I picked out my mom from the cup, I thought, well, that's perfect. She asked for a basket. Why don't I make her a basket? And I'm going to make it into a gift basket because I'm going to put like bath soaps and all kinds of stuff in there that she loves, and then wrap it up in like plastic wrap. Like a plastic see-through wrapping paper that they use for when you buy gift baskets. So I'm going to do that for my mom and my mother-in-law, so because they're each getting a basket. Oh boy, it's a lot. I hope I make sense. Sorry. I hope it makes sense, because I don't want to have to do this video all over again. That would suck. I'm already so far in already. But I won't say too much more now because I'm already pretty far into the video. So yeah, that's what's going on. So I have to make 2 more baskets, make them into gift baskets. So that'll be for my mom and my mother-in-law. Then I got my father-in-law. My mom is my Secret Santa, so my dad is not. So that's why my dad's not included, because I drew my mom's name. Just trying to think. So the craft show is coming up on the 30th, November 30th. The craft show is coming up. Hopefully I get some pictures. Probably not any videos, because I remember, because it's at my work, everybody wants to talk to me. So I'm not going to take any videos, but I will take a picture of my table. I will insert pictures at the end of this video to show you my little mock setup. So there'll be that. You'll get an idea of all the things. I have 65 items, which should be enough because it's only 4 hours. I don't know how many other vendors are going to be there, but I did hear that we're 100% full. They did manage to squeeze in another table. So one of the residents, her granddaughter crochets. She's only 14 years old. She wanted to have her own table. And I thought, well, if she can't get a table, I know that my table is going to be pretty long, so I would give her a section on my table, because I'm not going to be one of those people. She crochets and I crochet, and let's just, here's your section and I'll have my section, and good luck. And you're a little girl and you're starting out, and I don't know how long she's been crocheting for, but enough that I have seen some of her stuff, and she does crochet pretty well. So I do wish her the luck, and I will have people support her table. I don't plan to make a lot. If I make even $100, that would be fine. My table fee was only $25, but the sales manager at my work, she actually waived my fee. I'm not supposed to tell anybody. I feel like I shouldn't tell anybody because I don't know why. She never said why. I handed her the money to pay for my table, and she goes, no, it's covered. And I'm thinking, wow, that was really nice of her. But she never said why. So my table fee was actually free. So if I make any money, I don't have to subtract what I paid for the table, because I didn't have to pay for my table, which was pretty awesome. She didn't have to do that, and that was really nice of her. So I can't remember her name, but yeah, the resident at my work's granddaughter, I do wish her the best. I'd be happy if I just made $100. It's fine. Normally my once a year craft shows that I'm at, I make between $100 to $300. I don't sell my stuff for a lot. That's why I don't show people how much I price my stuff at. I don't like price shaming. Times are tough, and as much as stuff is going up and I could use the money, I do work full time. This is just my hobby. So if I want to price it down to make it fair, at least I try to make it fair. Yeah. I don't go by how many hours I work on it or materials. As you can see, I have so much yarn, and some of this yarn's probably from like even 2 years ago. It's just such a big stash that I don't want to charge for something that I went out and bought, because I have so much yarn that I just kind of, yarn might be going up, but the yarn I bought 2 years ago didn't go up. It's whatever it was I bought back then. It just is what it is. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm sorry about the long video. If you made it to the end, awesome. Put a yarn ball in the you can type yarn ball or put a yarn ball emoji if you actually made it to the end to listen to me ramble. So I'm just trying to think if that's it. I hope that's it, because it's a long enough video as it is. Yeah. I was trying to be prepared to make a video today, but I wasn't prepared. I was literally just going to grab everything, toss it on the desk, push play, and hope for the best, and that I didn't have to keep making a video over and over again if I had said something wrong or not. But I think it went by pretty smoothly. I'm not an expert at this whole crochet video. I'm still getting used to talking to myself. I'm sure everybody has gone through this when they started making their own YouTube videos. It's I still find it strange. And because I don't do these videos very often, few weeks, a month goes by, and when I go to make one, I'm trying to learn all over again and figure out how to talk in front of the camera. So I'm sure everybody watching this who has a channel already knows what that's like, so you know how I feel. Sorry, I'm rambling. Okay, I better go because I do have things to start. I did start a cupcake. Oh, yeah. I did start 3 cupcakes. They're supposed to be cupcake keychains for Thursday. And it's Monday. I could probably finish these. But do I want to? I just kind of want to be done. I want to be done making stuff for the bazaar. I know a lot of people will crochet right up until they don't have to. But I'm just kind of done because I have to make a lot of Christmas presents, donate these bird nests when they come do their presentation, baskets. I literally, that blanket I showed you in the beginning of the video, I literally finished that 11:30 last night. My boyfriend had come to bed, shut off the light. I had a lamp above me. It's a chargeable lamp and it clips onto my it clamps onto my headboard. I had it charged, but it's not holding its charge very well, so I had flicked that on. He turned off the main light, and then crocheting with black, I tell you, that's the part I was on because I was trying to do the border, and the light went off, and so then I'm like, stupid light. So my boyfriend leaned over, turned on his light on his side of the bed, and I felt really bad because it was shining in his eyes, but he had to shine it over so that it worked. Yeah, but it's done. It's done. That blanket took a while, but it's done. Thank goodness. A part of me kind of wants to do another blanket, but if I do, it won't be for a little while. Yeah. Okay, anyways. Goodbye, everybody. And thank you for listening to me ramble. See you later.